For months now, climate activists and global bodies have been sounding an alarm over climate change, calling for urgent climate action. The United Nations has, in the latest, said that the impact of global warming is now simply irreversible and that there is still a brief window of time to avoid the very worst. UN scientists on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change are finalizing a key report. The UN scientists are likely to weigh up technology to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The idea is among many solutions that are being considered over the next 2 weeks by the IPCC. Government officials from countries around the world will be in attendance and will need to approve every line in that summary report. The IPCC report is due to be published on the 4th of April. The latest study will be the third of 3 important reports from the IPCC issued in the last 8 months. The previous 2 reports have looked at the causes and the impact of climate change. This one will now focus on mitigation, or what the world can do to stop climate change. Researchers will look at how there can be a reduction in the amount of warming gases that are emitted from human activities. The IPCC will closely look at ways of removing carbon dioxide that are already there in the atmosphere, The report will consider several approaches, including tree planting and agriculture, as well as more advanced technological approaches that use large machines to remove carbon dioxide from air. Combined approaches where land is used to grow crops, which can be burned for energy, while the carbon is captured and buried, will also be considered. The use of these types of technologies is controversial. Campaigners say these types of technology and approaches are not economical. There are also concerns that technology could be seen as an excuse to not make the major changes in energy production that are required. Scientists say that the situation now is so serious that carbon dioxide removal will be needed in addition to massive cuts in emissions, not just as a substitute for them. The final report will be published in 2 weeks after negotiations with the government representatives from 195 countries. It will also focus on the social aspects of cutting carbon and short-term actions that governments can take in the remaining years of this decade. There are concerns that the war in Ukraine could impact the meeting, with representatives from both countries due to take part. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.